Namaste everybody. Today we are going to do a 30 minutes full body stretching flow, and I have with me Philip from Germany who is going to demonstrate in today's class. So let's get started. So let's begin the class by standing onto the mat. We're going to do the rotations of the arms. Take your hands to the front, back and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now turn towards the front of the mat. Inhale, raise your hands up, look up towards the sky. Exhale and bend forward. We're going to do a few times this to stretch the front and the back of the body. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale and bend forward. Inhale, raise your hands up. Exhale and bend forward. 2 more times. Inhale, raise your hands up, reach up towards the sky, little back bend. Exhale, bend forward and down. 1 last time. Inhale, raise your hands up. A little arch in the back, pushing the hips forward. Exhale, bend forward and down. Now bend your knees, take your legs back into downward facing dog. Move your heels up and down, stretching the back of your legs. Keep pushing your hips back and up, looking towards your knees. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs, in the back of your spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now step your right foot forward between your hands. Bring your back knee down to the floor. You can use a cushion like Philip is using if for your knees. Now raise your hands up. Take your hands to the back and make a big circle. 1 more time. Hands up, back and down. This time raise your hands up, interlock your fingers, turn your palms up, push your hips forward, lift your chest up and take your hands to the back. Stay here for 2 breaths, stretching your left quadricep, right hip, your chest and your arms. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Take your legs back into downward facing dog. Push your hips back and up, stretching the back of your legs. Now step your left leg forward between your hands. Bring your right knee down onto the mat or onto your cushion. Raise your hands up. Make 2 circles. Take your hands to the back and up, back and up. Interlock your fingers, turn your palms up, give yourself a nice stretch, push your hips forward, feel the stretch in the left hip, right quadricep, chest up, hands to the back, look to the front or maybe look up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, bring your hands down to the mat, take your legs back into downward facing dog. Lift your heels up, look to the front, bend your knees and maybe you can jump or step forward into a forward bend. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, raise your hands up. Exhale and bend forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and step or jump back. Lower down. You can take support or do a chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale and back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale and step your foot forward between your hands. Bring your back knee down to the floor again. Take your hands to your heart center. We're going to do a twist this time. Turn towards your right side. Take your left elbow outside your right knee and twist. You can either stay here or lift your back knee up, coming into a little higher twisted lunge. Stay here for 1, 2, twisting your spine, strengthening your legs. 4 and 5. Now slowly come out of your twist, bring your hands down onto the floor, take your legs back into plank. Lower down, inhale up, Exhale and back. Now inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. Bring your back knee down to the mat. Bring your hands to your heart center and turn towards your left side, twisting, bringing your right elbow outside your left knee. Stay here for 1. You can lift your back knee up if you want to. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your hands down. Take your legs back into downward facing dog this time. Now lift your heels up, look to the front, bend your knees, step or jump into a forward bend. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, raise your hands up. Reach up towards the sky, exhale and bend forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale and back. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. Bring your back knee down onto the mat. Now straighten your right leg into half split. Move the leg forward and push the heel down a little bit more forward, Philip. Yes, push the heel down, toes up, and take your hands forward if you can, chest lifted up. Now bend your knee and straighten. We're going to do this 5 times to stretch the hamstring muscle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stay here. You can walk your hands a little bit more forward. Spine lengthening, stretching the hamstring muscle, the back of your hip, the lower back. 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knee, take your legs back into plank. Lower down, either knees, chest in or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. Bring your back knee down and straighten your left leg. Moving your left leg, pressing your heel. Once you're here, bend your knee and straighten the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Get the leg straight and hold here for a few breaths. Stretching your left hamstring muscle, lengthening your spine, and slowing down your breath. Now bend your knee and take your legs back into downward facing dog. Stay in your downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Keep pushing your hips back and up. If your spine is rounding, you can bend your knees and push your chest back towards the knees. Slowing down your breath, look to the front, lift your heels up. You can step or jump into forward bend. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Take a breath in and slowly breathe out. Now we're going to do Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up, lengthen. Exhale and bend forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, take your legs back into plank, lower down into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale and downward facing dog. Now stay in your downward facing dog for 5 breaths, strengthening your arms, stretching your legs, lengthening your spine. 5. Keep gazing towards your knees or your navel. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lift your heels up, bend your knees, look forward. You can step or jump into half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Round number 2, inhale, raise your hands up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend forward and down into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or jump back. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up into upward facing dog. Exhale, back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, press your hands firm. Keep sending your hips back and up, creating length in your spine. Stretch in the back of your legs, staying here for 3 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Lift your heels up, look forward, step or jump into half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. We're going to do 1 round of Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, bend your knees, raise your hands up into Utkatasana. Exhale, bend forward and down into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, half forward bend. Exhale and step back. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Now step your right foot forward between your hands, back foot in 45 degrees. Raise your hands up into Warrior 1 or High Lunge. Bring your hands down, take your legs back into plank. Very slowly lower down, inhale up. Exhale and back into downward facing dog. Step your left leg forward, right foot in 45 degrees or heel up. Raise your hands up into High Lunge or Warrior 1. Beautiful. Bring your hands down, take your legs back into plank. Lower down, one last time Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale and back. Stay here for 1. Into your downward facing dog. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Now lift your heels up and step into half forward bend. Exhale and full forward bend. Inhale, raise your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Take a breath in and slowly breathe out. Now inhale, raise your hands up. Exhale and bend forward. Stay in your forward bend for 5 breaths. If you're not able to reach your hands down, you can bend your knees. If you feel any discomfort in your lower back, you can always bend your knees, bringing your abdomen close to the thighs. Stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take your legs back into plank. Lower down completely. Take your hands to the back, interlock your fingers. Inhale, lift your chest and the legs up into Shalabhasana. Strengthening the back muscles. Very good. Stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release, bring your hands by the side of your chest. Pick yourself up, go into downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. Lift your back heel up, raise your hands up into High Lunge. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring your back foot into 90 degrees. Stretch your hands out to the side into Warrior 2, looking towards your right hand. Stay here for 1, Strong legs, long spine. 3, 4, and 5. Bring your back hand down, front hand up into reverse warrior, stretching the side body. Stay here for 5 breaths. Make sure your front knee is bent, back leg is straight and strong. Feel the stretch in the side of your right side and breathe into that expansion. Take one last breath in. As you breathe out, bring both the hands down towards your right foot. Take your legs back into plank. Lower down completely. Again, Shalabhasana. Take your hands to the back. Interlock your fingers. Inhale, lift your legs and the chest up. Stay here for 1, 2. Keep contracting the muscles between your shoulder blades, in the lower back, in the glutes, hamstring, calf muscles. Slowly release. Bring your hands by the side of your face or the chest. Pick yourself up, go into downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your left leg up this time. Exhale, step your foot forward. Back heel lifted up, raise your hands up into high lunge, the crescent lunge. Turn your back foot out into 90 degrees. Take your hands out to the side into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2 on the left side. Beautiful. Stay here for 5 breaths, keeping your legs nice and firm, spine long, shoulders relaxed, hands actively moving in 2 opposite directions. The head facing towards the left hand. Bring your right hand down onto the right thigh, left hand up towards the sky and back. Feel the stretch in the left side of your torso as you do this reverse warrior or the dancing warrior. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Make sure your feet are firm, the toes firmly pressing down into the mat. The left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Take one last breath in, and as you breathe out, bring both your hands down to the mat. Take your legs back into plank. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale and back into downward facing dog. Stay in your downward facing dog for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now this time you're going to walk your hands towards your feet into a forward bend. Keep walking them towards your feet and bring your feet as wide as your mat. Now press your right hand down, lift your left hand up into a twist. You can keep your knees bent or the legs straight. Exhale, bring your left hand down, right hand up into a twist. Twisting your spine, stretching the legs. Exhale, both the hands down. And walk your hands to the front. Come into a downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. Bring your back leg a little closer. We will go into pyramid pose. You can keep your front knee little bent if you are not able to reach down, or you can use blocks. Spine nice and long. Hands down. And stay here for 1. Slow down your breathing. Make sure your back leg is straight. Heel pressing down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Press your left hand firmly down. Lift your right hand up into a twist. Very good. Stay here for 5 breaths. Press your back heel firm, back leg straight, trying to extend your back knee. Looking towards your right hand, notice that twist in the spine, that strength coming from the legs. Bring your both hands down and walk your hands towards the front, towards the left side, and come into wide-legged forward bend. Keep walking your hands towards the front, turn your feet to the front, and go into wide-legged forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. Not very wide so that you are stable and firm. Stay here for 1. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now walk your hands back towards your right foot. Take your legs back into plank. Lower down, you can go down into Chaturanga or take the support of the knees and the chest up into Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, push your hips back and up into Downward Facing Dog. Now step your left leg forward into Pyramid pose on the left side. Bring your back leg slightly closer. You can keep a slight bend in the left knee or keep it completely straight and stay here. Stretching your left hamstring in the pyramid pose for 1, 2. Slow down your breathing and try to find relaxation in that stretch. 2 and 1. Press your right hand firmly. Lift your left hand up into a twist. Beautiful. Stay here for 1. Slow breathing. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Both the hands down and walk your hands towards your right side this time. This time you're going to hold your ankles with your hands. If you're not able to do that, you can bend your knees also. Stay here for 1. Press your heels firmly and shift your weight slightly forward. Feel the hips, the sit bones moving away from your heels. 4 and 5. Bring your hands to the floor, onto the mat. Walk your hands towards your left foot. Take your legs back. Come into a plank. Very good. Now go into Downward Facing Dog from your plank. Now step your feet forward. Come into a forward bend. Bend your knees. Bring your feet slightly apart. We go into a squat, yogic squat. From there, go down, hands to your heart center. Very good. Stay here for 1. If you're not able to do a squat, you can sit down onto the mat completely. 2, 3, beautiful. 4 and 5. Now you can take your hand support, sit down and stretch your legs to the front into Dandasana. Take a breath in and slowly breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now inhale to raise your hands up. Exhale and bend forward. Reach your feet for Paschimottanasana. If you're not able to reach forward, you can also bend your knees like Philip did in the video. That's a good way to get a nice stretch in the lower back, in the hips, and to keep your lower back safe. Stay here for 1. Let your head go down and let your breath become longer and more relaxed. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, raise your hands up. Exhale and take your hands to the back about 6 inches behind you. Your fingers can be turned to the back or towards your buttocks. Toes towards the front, legs straight. And inhale, lift your hips up into Purvottanasana, reverse plank. Very good. As you do that, look up towards the sky. Strengthening the back muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down and take a breath. Now bend your right knee and place your right foot on the mat. Take your right hand back for the twist. Inhale, lift your left hand up. Exhale, bend your left elbow and hook it outside your right knee. Once you do that, turn, look towards your right shoulder into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Keep your left leg firm. Stay here for 1, twisting your spine, twisting your neck. 2, and softening your breath. Every inhalation, notice the lengthening of the spine. Every exhalation, twisting of the spine. One last breath in. Now as you breathe out, you come out of your twist and get your right leg straight down onto the mat. Now bend your left knee, place your left foot onto the mat, take your left hand to the back. Inhale, lift your right hand up, exhale and twist. Look towards your left shoulder and stay in this twist for 5 breaths. Slowing down your breath and taking your awareness inwards as we move towards the end of our class. Practicing yoga, which is the union of the body, mind, and the soul. Take one last breath in and slowly breathe out and turn towards the front. Release your hand and now bend both your knees. We're going to do Navasana, boat pose. Stretch your hands to the front and lift your feet up. Very good. Keep your chest lifted up. Stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. Bring your feet down and take a breath. Now from here, we're going to lie down onto the back, onto the mat. Bend both your knees, bring your knees to the chest, wrap your hands around your legs. Give yourself a nice hug for this practice, for the efforts. You can rock side to side, massaging your lower back, massaging your spine. And then slowly release, head down, bring your legs up towards the sky. A gentle inversion. You can also use a cushion if you have underneath your buttocks. Letting the blood flow into the upper body. You can close your eyes, relax the hands. Notice how you feel right now. Observing your breath. Now bend your knees, place your feet down onto the mat. Remove your bolster, take your hands to the side, a little more to the side, and take your knees to the right side into a twist. Turn your hand and the head to the other side. Stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back to the center. Take your legs to the left side, head to the right. Staying in this twist, relaxing for 1. Relaxing your legs, your spine, your shoulders, your face. 3, 4, and 5. Come back to the center and relax. Place your hands onto the abdomen, notice your breath. Take a nice deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out, slowing down your breath. And as you slow down your breathing, notice your mind relaxing. Complete relaxation of the body, mind, and the soul. Now take your hands to the back, give yourself a nice stretch. Bring your knees to the right side or left side, turn and come up into seated. Sit down comfortably. Bring your hands together to your heart center. We will end the practice with 1 Om and 3 Shanti. Wishing peace and happiness to everybody. Breathe in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. Thank you everybody for practicing with us. Namaste.